Welcome back. It's your best friends. It's Austin. And
It's Sean.
how you been, man? I did not ask you this on the pre-show party because I wanted to wait until now to find out. If you haven't
Yeah.
seen the pre-show party, go to the Patreon. Anyway, how are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited for the future of your best friends, which is a new format that we are starting
Yes.
this episode. Uh,
Dang.
so if
You
you
want to
are
talk about it?
not a patron, you should scroll down to the description, click on the link below, and consider becoming a patron because starting today, we are going to be publishing half of the episode that we do on YouTube. So what you're listening to is the first half of the episode, and then the second half, hog wild, uncensored, whatever, anything goes, is going on Patreon.
Hog wild, baby.
And all that costs is, did we decide on a tier level that's going to be restricted? Probably the second tier, third
I
tier,
think it's going to be $5 or $3 a month. I'm not sure yet.
$5 or $3 a month, which is really, if you think about it, not that much
For some
considering how
hog
much.
wild content.
Yes, you're going to be getting some hog wild content. You're going to get your pre-show parties. You're going to be able to vote on articles that we talk about, deep
And
dives that we do.
support the Your Best Friends
Support. That's
podcast,
right.
which we greatly appreciate from the bottom of our heart.
Yes. So that is how I'm doing. I'm very excited. How have I been? Pretty good.
You were sick. You were sick though.
I
Did you
was
get over
sick.
that
I
sickness
got
quickly?
better. I got better. So I thought it was strep again. I got worried because it was a cold that like super targeted my tonsils. They got like really big and I was like, "Oh god, I think I have strep again." I went to the doctor and they're like, "Nah, it's not strep." But I understand why you'd think it might be. One, because it looks like it, two, and everybody's getting strep. But like my test came back
Yeah.
negative, and thankfully after like a couple days it tapered off. So I am feeling better. So yeah.
I'm glad you're not dead.
I am also glad that I'm not dead. I do have something exciting coming up.
What?
Uh on Saturday, I'm going to a UFC fight.
Oh, I know who you're going with, and I know who made you go, and I can't believe you're going.
I wait, really?
Yeah, he told me about it. He was like, I've been trying to get Sean to go to this UFC fight. And I was like, I don't think he's going to go to the UFC fight, bro. And he was like, yeah, he doesn't seem very into it. I was like, okay, well, I guess just keep working on him. I don't know. And then I was like, how much are the tickets? So drop the bomb. How much were the tickets?
They were $300 roughly.
What? Okay. That is absurd.
Okay, wait until I tell you uh the horrible news that has come up because of this. Um First off, let me start. I love watching the UFC. I will say I'm not really a very close follower of any sport, but like if I'm gonna throw a sport on the TV to watch, it's usually UFC. I love watching UFC. For a while, I got really into the stats and into the fighters and stuff, but then I don't know. I think it was I started drumming last year or something, and then I like fell off of it. But I've been like getting back into watching it and getting back into looking at the stats and stuff like that. So I'm super excited. It seems like one of those sports that when you watch it live, it's just like super intense and super crazy to watch. So I'm super stoked. Um, yeah. Oh, there's a tail.
There is
Um,
a cattail.
I have a podcast here.
You do. What's her name?
This is Tika.
Oh, that's your OG cat right there.
It's my OG cat.
That's your Millie to, you know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Um, so
where are the seats? Like, are you close? Are you really far away?
I think
Where is it?
they're pretty they're pretty close, right? So like the tickets that are like right around the octagon are like $1,000. It's something like ridiculous. Uh, and then like one level higher, that's where we are. Those tickets are range from like 200 to like 700 or something like that. So, and then there's like an even like higher up tier with like way more seats. So we got like some pretty decent tickets.
I have a
Uh,
couple questions. First, is
yeah,
it just one fight, or is there like multiple people, and then the
it's multiple
finale?
fights. Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense to me. So this is like a whole event,
Yeah, I mean it's
probably
like any
like
other
two
sport
or three
event.
hours or so.
More than that. So the preliminary fights start at 11:30 a.m.
Okay,
Saturday. And I think I want to say there's like 7 fights.
so it's like
And
going to a
then
regional, basically.
yeah, and then
Okay.
the like main card, which has I think 5 fights, and those have more rounds and are usually last a little bit more time per round.
And they're like the big dogs.
Yes, they're the big dogs, including the main event, which is like that usually when they advertise a UFC fight, it's usually just like 2 names, right? It's like this person
Yeah, like
versus
who
this
are the
person.
people? Do I know them? Let's
No,
see. I wouldn't know them.
no, I don't think so. It's a heavyweight fight. It's not a championship fight. Like they're not fighting for the belt, and it's between a guy named Rosenstruck and Almeida. Yeah, no, don't ring any bells.
Nope.
Um, absolute savages. I mean, watching UFC anyway, you usually see some fucking killers. But I
Yeah.
saw a clip pop up on my Instagram feed today of Rosenstruck. Uh, it's just like 8 clips of him knocking dudes out in like the first round, and he's fucking strong. It's pretty crazy.
Yikes. All right.
Um,
Well, that should be fun.
I am excited, but when I bought these tickets, uh, the event was at 7 p.m., but the time changed, which is not a problem for me. But it was a problem for the
After?
person. Yes, after we bought the tickets, they changed the time of the event. But the person who got me to join him in this event uh, can no longer go. And yeah, those were the price of the tickets
Why can he no longer go?
because he had prior commitments to. I think he's going to his sister's graduation.
Oh, that's so
That's what
unfortunate.
I'm saying, dude. I felt so bad.
So
And
are you still gonna go?
yeah,
Who are you gonna go with?
I don't. It's me.
You're just gonna go by yourself?
Yeah,
I
unless
mean,
I have his ticket up for resale on the site that I bought it from. You can't get him refunded, which is
okay.
like the frustrating bit.
They
Uh,
changed the time though. They changed the
that's
time.
that's what I'm saying. It's so frustrating. Um,
Wow.
so I put it back up for resale, and I was thinking that if it doesn't get resold, it's obviously his ticket, so I'd have to talk to him about it. But I was like, hey, if it's like Friday night and it's not resold, can I just like give it for free to somebody to like take? Uh, obviously that's up to him because it's his ticket, but
True.
yeah, otherwise I'm just going by myself.
All right. Let me
I spent
know.
the money.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking forward to the review
Yes.
on next week.
I will
Well,
definitely let you know. I am excited for it. I am bummed that the OG gang is not going, but
yes. By the way, this OG gang person, their name will be revealed on in about 10 episodes.
yes, that's right.
Because they're
You're
gonna be our
joining us on
guest
a
in about
guest.
10 episodes. We're gonna do a little
Yes.
math and see what
Yeah.
number that might be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that'll be our guest in 10 episodes. He requested very specifically to wait until that time to be a guest. So
There's a podcast that I listen to. I think I talked about it before when we were like rating our favorite podcasts.
the Your Best Friends podcast?
And it's the Your Best Friends podcast, and they did this funny thing where they brought somebody on for the 69th episode. But there's this other podcast, my second favorite podcast, and it's called My Brother and Me, and it's about these
Yes.
three dudes who give advice. They have a lot of episodes out. I think they're on like 600 something at this point, and
Oh,
they leading up to the episode 420, they were like, yeah, we get a lot of people in the emails that are just like, what are you gonna do for 420? And it's like, man, it's getting really intense. Like we are like, we're planning a lot of stuff. Like we're hoping it's really big. We're planning on bringing on some guests. Like, I don't know, I'm getting nervous. Like, cause like, what if we don't deliver? You know what I mean? And like it gets closer and it gets to 419 and they're like, man, like the next one's the big one. And then the next episode they release is 421.
oh my
And they go, you know
God.
what? Some things are just so big that it's really hard to deliver that kind of quality that people expect. I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't know why that's relevant to this situation. But anyway, welcome to our show.
That is so wild.
And so they never did an episode 420. There's just, if you look at
Dang.
all their episodes, it's just
What if they
419
what
to
if they do it
421.
in like as like a big huge milestone? Like instead of 1,000, they do 420. Something like that.
Yeah. That'd be pretty funny, actually.
Like they finally do the 420. That's just like extremely extravagant. They've
Yeah.
been planning it for like 3 years.
If it gets federally legal, that's when they'll do that.
Dude, yeah, oh my God. I don't
Uh,
know if it'll ever happen.
you don't think so?
Man, no, I was listening to this like three recent studies. One study was about it compared nicotine use to alcohol use to THC use. The effect on the brain in terms of amount of blood flow in the brain. Nicotine is a stimulant. So this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Nicotine increases blood flow in the brain. Tobacco increases blood flow in the brain. We've known this for forever. Alcohol decreases blood flow in the brain. The worst, by a long shot, was marijuana. Absolutely makes you stupider. Decreases blood flow in the brain for like an extended period of time, not just while you're high, but like a long time afterwards. And
Mm,
then I had heard this rumor for forever, dude, that like marijuana smoke is not as bad for your lungs as like cigarette smoke. Marijuana smokers had the worst VO2 maxes and like all the markers across the board in these particular meta analyses uh, in comparison to people who smoke cigarettes and worse than people who vape.
that's crazy.
Ridiculous, right?
Interesting. When
Also makes you sleep worse. Can't drop into REM sleep as well.
that's true. I think you get more. Do they say you get more deep sleep, but you never really get into REM sleep?
I don't know. REM sleep is deep sleep.
I thought that was a level above
Oh, that's right
deep
before. Yeah,
sleep.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it
So
like knocks you out, but it doesn't get you don't get like the reparative full like cycle that your
yeah,
body actually needs. So it
yeah,
feels like you're getting more well rested, but you're not actually.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen, man. I still don't think, on the whole, it's like a worse substance than alcohol or anything like that. But
that's what makes me think that like it's gonna become legal. Well, that's one of the reasons. The other reason I think it's gonna become legal is because there's already like derivatives that exist that are legal because they're hemp derived, like synthetic stuff. And
yeah,
I think before those get outlawed, it would become just legal. You know what I'm saying?
I think the opposite would happen. I think they would just outlaw Delta 8, Delta 9, shit like that.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
I'm super surprised that they're still legal. When you can't buy paracetam and aniracetam in the United States anymore, but you
That's
can still
pretty.
buy Delta 8 and Delta 9, it
That's pretty crazy.
fucking blows my brain, dude. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, that's pretty
Sorry,
crazy.
Hog Wild episode is later. All right, I need to stop saying the F word. I need to chill out a little bit, be a little more
Yeah, yeah,
YouTube friendly. I'm sorry.
true. Um,
Okay. Speaking of stuff that you take, you see that? I almost. All right. I gotta be better. I gotta be better, man. Woo. All right. Speaking of stuff
goddamn.
that you take, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay.
Okay.
And I want to show you a product, and I wanted to get your first take on this product. I bought this today. Before that, very, very important. CloudMusicSuite.com is a sponsor of today's episode and the
Hey.
sponsor of every episode of the Your Best Friends podcast. Amazing service. We've got some amazing instructors on here ready to teach lessons to you or your friend or your child or your cousin or your brother or your sister or your mom or your dad. Anyway, so
Hey.
cloudmusicsuite.com, your home for private music lessons. Okay, let's go over here. So this company right here, you might know the name of the company because Dr. Paul Saladino
Yeah.
is, I don't know if he was the founder. I know he's not the CEO, but I think he was the founder of this company, Heart and Soil. So it is desiccated, meaning like dried organs. That's basically the company. They bottle these dried organs into little capsules, and then I can hear your cats. And then, are those cats or is that a door?
It's not me.
What? Was it my cats?
Maybe you. My cats are
Glad.
kind
I think they were making noise.
they're
I
kind of
think you just
playing.
couldn't hear it.
All right, that's probably true.
Anyway, whatever. It doesn't
Doesn't.
matter. So check it out. Histamine and immune. You can clearly see why I am trying this product. I over the last I've had like allergy issues, like seasonal allergy issues for like my whole life pretty much. But it seems like ever since COVID started and ended or whatever, and the world opened back up, my allergies have gotten significantly worse than they were before COVID. Frustrating, annoying. I don't like it. I hate runny nose and stopped up nose, and I hate like intermittent breathing issues and crap like that. So annoying, dude. Anyway, so I'm gonna try this. And can you see that if I zoom in that far? Is that still
Yeah, that looks good.
okay? New Zealand,
It's pretty
blah blah blah.
impressive, actually.
I'm gonna cut out the New Zealand part. Grass fed thymus, which is an organ. Grass fed lung, grass fed kidney, grass fed spleen, grass fed liver, all from cow. Okay,
Serving size is
what
6 capsules.
six
Jesus.
capsules? And they basically say in order to not like let it upset your stomach or whatever the case
Gotta
may
eat it with
be,
a meal.
no, just slowly go up over time. Like you can start
Oh,
your first day with like one or two,
got
if
it.
that's good. Second day is like three, next day three again, next day four, something like that. That's the idea. What on first thought do you think about that? Like trying to target seasonal allergies by eating the organs that would have that response in a cow's body. Like, give me your first thought.
I think it's great. I mean, I think.
What? Hold on, wait. But do you think it'll work?
Do I think it'll work? I mean, it's not gonna be like taking an allergy medication that's gonna make it go away immediately. But I definitely think it's gonna make you a healthier person, uh, and get you like nutrients and stuff that you don't normally get if you don't eat these organs on a regular basis, which I think could put your body in a better position to, not have as strong of an allergic response. But I think that's like an overtime thing. Like I don't think, this isn't going to be a
Yeah.
cure, right?
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying it.
Maybe
I'm
maybe
giving it
it
a
will,
good A
but
for effort.
it just doesn't seem like it's not going to be like your Zyrtec. You know what I mean? You're not going to take a Zyrtec and then the allergies are going to be like mitigated for the rest of the day. It that's what I think. I don't know, but
So
it
I
just
think
seems
it's
like
actually going to work almost exactly like you're saying it won't. So
really.
I did see this. First of all, the simplest. Oh man,
Hello.
can you see that?
Yeah,
Yikes. That's unfortunate.
I'm gonna have to
Um,
blur out that number.
yeah, I don't know who that was. Dude, it didn't even show up on my phone. That's so weird.
That was weird.
Okay, all right, sorry. I got really distracted. What's happening?
You were talking about it creating an instant response.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. I think this is the simplest possible way to think about this, and sometimes the simplest way maybe is the truth. If you eat thymus, it will help your thymus, which is a big part of the immune response, which is a big part of allergies. If you eat lung, it'll help your lungs. If you eat kidney, it'll help your kidneys. If you eat spleen, which is a big part of the immune response, it'll help your spleen, etc. That just seems like too simple to me. But that seems as though that's the idea here.
It's a great
Yes,
case
I
for
understand they're
cannibalism.
very, yeah, exactly. Um, but if in the thymus, kidney, spleen, liver, well, I guess I'll just do thymus, spleen, and liver. What if there's antihistamine molecules in those organs and then they get desiccated and it's literally actually just natural antihistamine that you're basically taking exogenously. So you already produce some antihistamine in your body because there's histamines coming in all the time. Sometimes from the food we eat, sometimes from the environment, right? And sorry, there's allergens coming in, and then histamine attacks those allergies, and that's what makes you feel like crap. So then you have to take an antihistamine to not let that make you feel like crap, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like there's antihistamine like in these organs. I don't know. I could be wrong. We'll see. I'll let you
But
know.
yeah, I was gonna say where I definitely am interested. I want to hear your review. When does it come in? You gonna be able to review it next
I think
week?
it's. I think it comes in next week, so we'll see. It might be next week, might be the week
Okay.
after.
If
But
that if
I
that
also
is how
go
that
ahead.
works, I was gonna say if that's how that works, I could definitely see myself purchasing this. Also
Yeah,
recommending this to members of my family because like my dad has really bad allergies, and this is seems like the type of thing that might be helpful to him, and also might be something I could convince him to take.
Yeah.
So
I right now I take Claritin on
yeah,
the
that's what my
daily,
dad does.
and it's not Claritin D, it's just regular Claritin. And then I take nettle leaf, stinging nettle leaf, which is a like a natural antihistamine on top of that. And
Yeah.
then I also take quercetin, which is just an antioxidant that supposedly supports the liver in a major way and helps you deal with allergy symptoms. Take 1,000 milligrams of quercetin every day. Those are the things I do for allergies. I'm gonna try this as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Also,
Yeah.
I bought their product called Immunimilk, which is just colostrum, which is like first mother's milk of a
Yeah.
cow. So
I heard that.
yeah, first mother's milk of a cow, and supposed to also help with immune situations. So we'll see. Can you hear the laughing as well?
Yeah.
Did you hear that? That's
Yeah.
wild.
um I was thinking about looking into getting some mics. Sorry, super random, but
Oh,
looking
some
at
new
getting
microphones.
yeah, some microphone, like two of the same microphone, so that we have a little bit more of a standard setup.
Consistency. Yeah.
And I also thought about there's a website that you can use to record the audio of your podcast. And it's like the way it works is you both log onto the website and then they sync your audio together. So like I'm getting the website's getting my raw audio and then your raw audio and then like making sure that they're synced together rather than
What's
like
it called?
recording the audio. Zencaster, I think is what it's called.
We can
Zencaster.
try it. Does it cost like buku bucks?
It might, but I don't know. Oh, there's also Riverside FM as another. It's like a podcasting type thing. Anyway, um, did I tell you the story about how I went to the dentist and they took my blood pressure?
No.
So I went to the sorry, the your supplement made me think of this. Went to the dentist a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago and she was like, "All right, let me take your blood pressure." And I was like, "What?" And she was just like, "Oh, well, most people go to the dentist more often than they go to the doctor. So we're supposed to take some basic vitals from patients now, like as a dentist." I was like, "Okay." And so she took my blood pressure. Only vitals she took, by the way. She didn't. She like I did, she didn't weigh me or take my height or anything. She just took my blood pressure. That was it. And she said, "Oh, it's looking high." The number that read on the screen was 95/60. That's crazy low, isn't it? Isn't like the
It's
average,
super low. 120 over 80 is like
like that's like the
textbook.
normal, right? Yeah. And she was like, "It's pretty high. Would you say you're like a stressed person?" I was like, "Well, yeah." And then she's like, "You drink coffee?" And I was like, "Well, yeah." And she was like, "All right, well, maybe it'll go down at the end of this appointment." And I was like, "It's the dentist, probably not." But she took it again at the end and it went down a little bit, but it was still like, 92/60 or so. I don't know, it was some crazy
That's
low number.
really
I was like,
low.
this is not low. I went to the doctor the other day and it was like 120 over 80, like around there. So I don't know what the fuck was happening there
Maybe
for
there was it on the machine or was it like on her? Did she use the dial?
is on the
Like,
machine.
oh, okay. It could have just been like not tight enough or fucked up machine or something.
Probably,
Sorry,
but that
messed up machine.
yeah, yeah. How dare you?
Yeah, I know.
Um, but yeah, crazy on so many levels because weird that I had to do that at the dentist office, and two, weird that she said that that was high when it wasn't.
It's super weird.
Yeah, it was a
I
very
thought you were
weird
gonna say
interaction.
like you were having tooth pain or something, and then they were gonna take your blood pressure and tell you it was because you had high blood pressure. And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
No,
I could see that being real though.
and yeah,
Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I'm not having tooth pain, so healthy teeth
Good
over here.
job, man. I'm proud of you. I was ready to give you a stack.
A stack?
Yeah, like to not have bad
Oh,
teeth
oh,
anymore.
oh, word. Well, what's your
Yeah.
stack? What's your recommended stack for the
Xylitol gum,
listeners? Okay.
non-fluoridated toothpaste, extra soft toothbrush, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin A, vitamin K2.
Heard it here first,
Sea
folks.
salt, sea salt, or mineral salt of some kind, or desert salt.
Floss.
Eat some damn salt. Yeah, floss. Pretty damn
Nice.
important too.
What kind of toothbrush do you use?
Super soft. whatever the dentist gives me. I said, "You got the softest one? What's the softest one you got? Can I get a couple?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, here you go." And I get
Oh,
the
okay.
softest one. The one with I like the ones with different length bristles. Can you hear the cats? They're like
Yeah.
people. They're losing their minds. I like the ones with different length bristles. So I
Okay.
feel like it works more, but it probably doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah. I use Quip.
What a
And this
show.
episode is brought to you by TrueDark.
No
Anyway.
one. Yeah.
um,
HomeBiotic and TrueDark. We haven't plugged
we haven't
HomeBiotic and
plugged
TrueDark.
either of them in a
What are we
minute.
doing? We've been so like busy and we've just been hopping on here and winging it, which is what we
Yeah.
always do,
Which
but more so
it's
than
not new.
normal. So
Yeah.
yeah, HomeBiotic and TrueDark. You can go in the description area and get you some TrueDark glasses so that you produce real, actual your own melatonin at night. So you don't have to take melatonin. You don't have to buy a new product on a regular basis. Just wear those little orange blue blocking glasses so that you can look at your little phone and scroll on TikTok and till your heart's content and still sleep well.
Yes.
And if you want to breathe better, you don't want mold spores in your house. Okay. Especially not harmful ones. Okay. So you need to put some goddamn home biotic on the any wet areas in your home. Link in the description.
It's the move. It's the move. It's good for your plants too if you get some mold on your
Yes.
soil.
I just put some in there.
Nice. Let's go. Would you like to see my article?
No. Yes, of course.
Next. Okay.
Well, moving on then.
Moving on then. All right. Well, why the AI industry could stand to slow down a little.
Mm.
Um, this
What
year,
if this article was written by ChatGPT? That'd be so funny.
that would be pretty hilarious. This year has given us a bounty of innovations. We could use some time to absorb them. First reactions to this article. Do you have any? Do you have any first thoughts to this title?
I don't think this year has given us a bounty of innovations. I do think we could use some time to absorb them, though.
Yeah, I agree. Let's dive into it a little bit. What a difference 4 months can make. If you asked in November how I thought AI systems were progressing, I might have shrugged. Sure, by then OpenAI had released DALI, and I found myself enthralled with the creative possibilities it presented. On the whole, though, after years watching the big platforms hype up AI, few products on the market seem to live up to more grandiose visions that have been described for us over the years. Then OpenAI released ChatGPT, the chatbot that captivated the world with its generative possibilities. At the same time, as we inch closer to the world of ubiquitous synthetic media, some danger signs appearing. Over the weekend, an image of Pope Francis showed up in an exquisite white puffer coat, went viral, and I was among those who was fooled into believing it was real. The founder of open source intelligence sites, Bellingcat, was banned from Midjourney after using it to create and distribute some eerily plausible images of Donald Trump getting arrested. The company has since disabled free trials following an influx of new signups.
Oh, that's so funny.
It is pretty funny. There's some pretty funny ones of our wonderful president Joe Biden just saying
Oh
random
my
stuff,
God.
which
Yeah, they're
they're
wild.
they're pretty wild. Um yeah, so this is a pretty long article. Uh let's see. There are also arguments that speed should not be our primary concern here. Last month, Ezra Klein argued that our real focus should be on these systems' business models. The fear is that ad-supported AI systems prove to be more powerful at manipulating our behavior than we are currently contemplating, and that will be dangerous no matter how fast or slow we choose to go here. Society is going to have to figure out what it's comfortable having AI doing and what AI should not be permitted to try before it is too late to make those decisions. Excuse me, Klein wrote. So I decided to pull this article up or a like similar article because somebody told me that there are like AI researchers that are putting out the idea of like, hey, the government should like figure out a way to put out an executive order to like slow the research of AI for a certain amount of time. And he was like, what do you think about that? And I don't know. It's a thought that like I just keep going back and forth because my original thought was I don't think the government should do anything. Um, and it seems like one of those things that's just like it's just going to figure itself out, which I tend to think that's how most things end up behaving in a society anyways. It just kind of figures itself out. Um, but the other thought I had was, and I brought this up in a previous episode, is that my company, including many companies, including my company, is trying to incorporate AI into the workplace already with ChatGPT. And I'm not worried about like AI taking my job or AI taking a bunch of people's jobs. I'm more worried about people using AI tools as a replacement for something where they really don't know the capability of it and kind of being too quick to make big company wide decisions in favor of AI usage. You know what I mean?
In favor of AI usage or because AI suggested that they make that decision?
Or both. Both, to be
Well,
honest.
talk about the one. Well, which one were you referencing a second ago?
Company choosing to use AI just basically just because it exists. You know what I mean?
Okay, here I have two thoughts. I think companies should use AI, but I think instead of the workforce using AI off the jump like that, I don't think that should be the first thing that happens. I think the first thing that happens should be a company reaching out to someone like Palantir, a data aggregator, and then it's been they've been doing this for years, like 21 years. They take all of the data points that you put into the system, and then you can basically ask it questions, and it gives you these highly probable good outcomes
Yeah.
based on this,
Models.
that, and the other. Yeah, like, hey, we modeled this, and this is probably what's going to happen if you do this. So this is the best decision in this situation of the few that you've been talking through. So I think management teams should be using AI way before the regular workforce should be using AI. I think it should trickle from the top down. CEOs, executives, chairman of the board type, CFOs, CTOs. I think they should be worrying about the AI things because what their job is anyway is typically, yes, they're a culture setter. Yes, they're like basically the vibe setter of the company, but they also determine the pace that the company moves at. So what they're paid for is to make a few very, very important decisions, whether that be per day or per week or per month. What they're paid for is impactful decisions, not a large number of decisions. You and I, we're paid for a large number of decisions. We're not paid for one big decision a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A CEO is paid for one big decision a month, one big decision a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So having help making those decisions, not just blindly using whatever the AI tells you, but having kind of like a third party that has zero opinions at all because it's literally a piece of machinery. It's technology that has no opinions attached to it. It's saying this is probably the best for these reasons. If you're looking for this, you should do this for these reasons. If you're looking for this outcome, you should do this for these reasons. That makes more sense to me than the individual employee using AI.
I agree. I agree with that. I think AI is really good at taking data. I mean, not really good. It literally is taking
That is what it
data
is.
and making an estimate based on
Yeah.
models of that data. So that makes sense for really big decisions when one person has to make that decision, being able to have some kind of way to input all of what you know about a situation and then be able to see everything, all the different possible outcomes before you make that decision. I think that makes a lot of sense. That's what I'm worried about not happening though. You know what I mean? I'm worried about people being quick to like get it in developers' hands to use it to help them write code or get it into journalists' hands to get them to help them write articles and stuff like that. Stuff that I don't think, one, we need to do. Two, it's going to be as fruitful as they think it is. And three, they don't really understand what it's capable of. And it's like when people who don't understand AI worry about the future of AI, they worry about, you know, weird stuff like the Terminator happening. What I worry about is a series of like decisions made by an AI that gets a company to the point where the decision is keep going down the path that the AI has decided to pursue, or shut it down and risk losing a lot of money because you no longer have as much support as you once did because you know let AI write code and let this person write code, and now you don't have as many supporting people who understand the code and understand the infrastructure because the AI was overlooking it over a period of time, which is like, you know, far less doomsday as
Mm.
something like Terminator, but it is, to somebody who's naive, that is definitely not impossible. I feel like with AI in the future,
Mm. I agree. Uh,
because we talked last week about like people who are not in technical positions being disconnected. You know what I mean? Like we talked about project managers and stuff like that, where once you get to a certain
yeah,
point, you get really disconnected from the work, and then you're not really like you can say things, but you don't really know what the actual ramifications of those things are sometimes because you're not on the floor doing the thing.
yeah.
Um,
Or you don't know how the implementation of those things looks for the individual. You know
right.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when your job is to help people make meaningful changes to what they're doing in their work, you have to understand exactly what it takes in order for them to make that change. Like you have to change a part of that person, probably,
Yeah.
because normally the way we do things is like, like wired into us.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. Back to the AI bit. Uh, you know, it seems like tech is wanting to use AI more than anybody else. Agreed?
Yeah.
Because it's more well received there because it is tech.
Yeah.
AI, correct me if I'm wrong, just my off the cuff thoughts. AI has to be backwards looking.
Yes.
Has to be. Technology is not backwards looking. So if we want to move things forward rather than stay right where we are or stay where we were, AI is not going to do as much as we think it can do. It's not going to lead to the breakthroughs, and it's not going to lead to your company building a best of breed product in your product category that your company is building. You know, if all we did was use ChatGPT to write code for Cloud Music Suite, there's no chance we would ever get to the point of being the best music lessons hosting website. I just don't think that's true. Like someone else will just have a better idea and it will just work smoother and cleaner for us,
Yeah.
or for them as opposed to us. We would have a product, we would be able to get it out quick, but would it be best of breed? No, it would just make a bunch, it would make the middle ground larger, the mediocrity area much larger. And there's a lot of tech companies already that sit in that mediocrity area. They do things, they make great profits, they make decent products that people can buy at decently affordable prices, but there's a lot of middle ground, not great tech companies that already exist today. And then there's the standout beasts, like Nvidia, like
Yeah.
Google, like Amazon. Like these are just standout animals.
Yeah.
Shopify. Anyway, well, yeah, those are my thoughts on AI.
This is valid. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just interesting to think about. Um,
Hey,
you know,
let's do this.
if we slow things
I
down.
have no idea how long it's been, but we're gonna
It's been about 35 minutes.
let's switch to the hog wild. Okay, so if you're listening on YouTube right now, the episode is about to end, but don't just leave. Go to the Patreon, first link in the description, and probably pinned comment if I don't forget. Sometimes I do. So pinned comment, hopefully first link in the description or other way around. Patreon. Okay, you go over there. We're gonna update the tiers so that you can see where you would get the hog wild content. But no matter what tier you go with, you can see the pre-show parties, the pre-show party, including the one that we did before this episode. Some great spicy memes. We'll just call them
Memes.
memes. Meme
That's fine.
videos, short
Got some
short
meme
form
review.
videos. Yeah, meme review. All
Meme
right.
review.
Well, we love you very much and catch you on the hog wild half.
Yes. And join us next week for probably a live episode. We can do a live episode. It's episode 60, baby.
Hell yeah.
Let's get it. We love you.
We love you.